Dr. Persinger's tests suggest that carefully programmed electromagnetic frequencies can tap into individual brains and influence people's emotions.
The cognitive processes of the human brain are really quite simple. And if you understand how they work, you can make entire populations think and decide the manner in which you wish.
To influence 250 million people, the equivalent of the entire population of the United States, may not be that difficult. According to Dr. Persinger, we already have the technology.
Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and what you just heard was a Discovery Channel documentary called Ultra Science, all the way back from 1997. That's, about 20-ish years ago, quite a while ago. Now, I've aired that on my report before, but I thought it is very potent to today's message and what's going on. Here's the thing, the mind control, the MK Ultra, the Project Monarch are all real things, not conspiracy theories, but factual proof exists of brainwashing and mind control technology like you just saw in the documentary, which they even admitted the technology existed back in 1997. Well, just fast forward to 2017. Can you imagine the type of technology that they have available today above and beyond what you saw in that clip? So the projects do exist and the projects are real. There's actually government documents. If you've not researched Project Monarch or MK Ultra, I encourage you to do so. I've actually driven through those page by page here on my channel. With that, I think it ties really well to some of the things that we are seeing in the news today, which is why I brought it up. But before I get into the news today, let me show you a clip from a few years ago where an NBC, yes, an NBC reporter of all things, admits that they want to microchip humankind by 2017. Take a listen to that clip.
Here tonight, life in the U.S. in 10 years' time. By that time, there may be all kinds of new ways to safeguard and identify all those things that make each of us unique, our faces, even our fingerprints, even our eyes. Here now with more on the future of technology, NBC's Tom Costello.
The year is 2017. You're rushed to a hospital unconscious with no ID or medical history, but thanks to a microchip under your skin, it's all there.
Not my words, but actually the words of a mainstream media proponent there. I find that interesting. Every once in a while you get tidbits of truth out of them, and I think that's just one of those. But the reason that I wanted to show you the mind control and then the microchip technology is because I believe they are linked. In the Bible, it talks about a microchip that will be implanted into heads or foreheads. It just says a mark. It doesn't say microchip in the scripture, but it does say a mark of some kind in which you cannot buy, sell, or trade anything. Many in the Christian realm believe that that is an RFID chip that will be implanted in the future, and some even believe that such an implant can control your mind in which you don't want to pull it out. And that kind of technology obviously also exists. I've shown a few patents on here as well. But what I want to do is just kind of give you a brief overview so far of that technology and how they're already dumbing down the population to accept Mark of the Beast style tech. Check out this report from WWW, and this is back from 2014, and then I'm going to go forward, but businessinsider.com, and it's titled, Microchips Will Be Implanted into Healthy People Sooner Than You Think. And I wanted to bring that one back up because here we are, about 4 years later, and that's exactly what we're seeing via Obamacare. Here's another by the LAtimes.com titled, and this is April of this year, companies start implanting microchips into workers' bodies. Here's another, and this one's very recent, just this week. July 24th, 2017, U.S. technology firm to implant 50 employees with identification microchips. Now, this particular report gets into the fact that employees are encouraged to attend this microchip implanting party in which they actually implant, get this, these chips right here into the hand, just like spoken of in biblical prophecy. Is that some coincidence? Well, ultimately, I'll leave that for you to decide, but that's exactly what this particular business is doing. Now, let me make a clarification. Obviously, that implant, I'm never going to implant anything like that in my body, but for starters, that one doesn't mean that that's the official mark of the beast. Right now, I think it's the dumbing down of the population and getting them used to the idea of a microchip implant. We already know the technology is in our business, our credit cards, our debit cards, and things of that nature. It's in our clothing. All these RFID chips are everywhere. And one day, many people believe they will be implanted in the skin and become a necessity in that you cannot buy, sell, or trade without it. That and something like that very likely could be the mark of the beast. Now, with that said, I also want to show you something else. Now, this is a report I put out back in 2015, I believe, but I think it's crucial. And this is on a government website. This is actually on www.fafa.ed.gov. And on their login page here, and it's going to be on the screen, if you go over and you click the Need Help button at the bottom, and then you scroll down a little bit and you go to your social security number, then a box will come up, and you can see on the screen it says, Special Instructions for Citizens of the Freely Associated States. And it says the following: if you do not have an SSN and are a citizen of the federal states of Micronesia, the Republic of the Marshall Islands, or Palau, otherwise known as Freely Associated States, enter 666 into the first three positions of the SSN field and leave the remaining 6 positions blank. Is that just a coincidence that they're using, of all numbers, the 666 number, a number that many people here in America have negative connotations towards, because the Bible, once again, speaks about the number 6, 306. I'll leave a link to the actual reference in scripture on that, but it actually references 666 as being the mark of the beast. So why is this .gov website using that in case you don't have your SSN? Good question. But I think all of the pieces go together here. We have mind control being exposed in the very beginning of this video in an old documentary from 1997. Then we have a news reporter from NBC stating about microchip implants and how they plan on doing it this year. Obviously, they haven't started other than at a few business companies. I found that interesting that report was aired quite a few years ago from NBC. And here we are 2017, and we have one of a company with 50 employees who are celebrating putting this implant into their body in 2017. So we see some of that come to fruition now. Obviously, as a Christian, I would never stick that in my body, but think about this. Knowing the technology exists for mind control, could that not be linked, or something that they link inside that microchip RFID chip? Let's just be frank here. If they have the technology to control people through television, through media, and these kinds of things, what kind of power would you give them if something like an ID or a chip implant was inserted into the body? Well, I'll leave that for you to decide. Anyhow, I wanted to bring you the latest on all of that. Please share it far and wide. And as usual, I'm going to include all the links below. If you feel the need to donate, please, you can do that via Patreon, help support what I do here, or go to getthetea.com. I swear he has the best products on the planet, especially the colostrum if you have any stomach issues, or the super strength tea. I believe it's a $35 tea. He does sell it alone as well. So just go to his website and check that out. Anyone who has ever used it never has a negative thing to say about it, and everybody says it works. And let me tell you, it works, as someone who takes it often. Anyhow, wanted to bring you the latest on all of that. If you go to Get the Tea, just let them know you heard it on Lisa Haven. Well, thanks again for tuning in. This is Lisa Haven, signing out.